Thank you, Chair Connolly. Thank you, Ms. Norton, for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank both the majority and minority staff for working with Nancy Mace and me on a bill to ensure that our federal government is prepared to tackle the powerful quantum computing challenges. In the future, the challenge is, what if people are able to break encryption? And even though classical computers can't break encryption now, our adversaries can steal our data in the hopes of decrypting it later. It's my belief that the federal government needs to think about how to move our encrypted data to algorithms that use post-quantum cryptography. And I've been working, like I said, with Representative Mace, and great input from both the majority and minority staff in helping us craft this. NIST, as you know, is working on new standards, which should be finalized by 2024. I had a few questions for Ms. Ann Duncan. What are you doing now to address this threat, and what do you think Congress should do?
Representative Khanna, thank you for asking about quantum computing and quantum encryption. It is an area of great concern to us within the federal government. As my role as chair of the Innovation Committee as part of the CIO Council, we've been addressing quantum computing and quantum encryption and raising visibility within the community across the government among CIOs. We have a two-pronged approach, I think, to this issue. One is that, as you know, there's a risk that data can be exfiltrated now and then decrypted later. And so we are emphasizing securing data and trying to ensure that we do not lose data now that can be decrypted later. In addition, we're working with NIST and across the DOE enterprise to understand and develop quantum resistant encryption so that going forward, we will be able to protect federal data from quantum computers when they are eventually in the mainstream.
Thank you very much for that. Ms. Harris, do you think we should begin to strategize, study this change? And do you know how much it would cost or how we should prepare for this?
Thank you for the question. We issued a study on the status and the prospects of quantum computing and communications. I do think that we do need to do more work in this area as a federal government. In that report, we present 4 major policy options and potential implementation approaches, but basically it covers how to address the collaboration across industries and disciplines, as well as countries in developing quantum technologies. It also discusses ways to expand the quantum workforce, how to incentivize or support investments in quantum technology, as well as the need to develop a robust and secure quantum supply chain. So those are areas that we have begun to dive into, and we're happy to work with you on these policy options and the best approaches to implementing them.
I appreciate that. I'm familiar with your reports and look forward to working on what more needs to be done. Ms. Duncan, if I could ask you one more question. Do you know which systems at your agency can or cannot be moved over to post-quantum cryptography?
Representative Khanna, thank you for that question. That is not a question I can answer today. We would be happy to look into that. It's a fairly large lift to identify that, but we'd be happy to do some research and get back to you.
Terrific. And one more question, either for you or for Ms. Harris. When should we begin to migrate our data over to post-quantum cryptography? Is now too soon, or can we do it and start to do it now?
I think, Representative, as soon as we are able to identify algorithms that will allow us to have quantum-resistant encryption, that we can and should begin to move to those solutions.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate the expert testimony. Let me just say, Mr. Chair, that I'm appreciative again of Representative Mace working on this and the excellent input from majority staff and minority staff, and look forward to working with you and our witnesses and the committee staff on this legislation.